to me. She's gone away across the sea. My girl is just a memory. She's been so long away. She's been gone so long. She's been gone so long. She's been gone so long. Gone so long. She's been gone so long. She's been gone so long. She didn't have to leave me. She didn't have to run. She didn't have to go without a word to anyone. I hope she's doing all right. She got no way to know unless she gets to hear this song, hear it on the radio. My girl, she was a world to me. She's gone, and that's a tragedy. My girl is just a memory. She's been so long away.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my girl. Chili Whack.
Now we're bringing it.
Right.
That's
some
good.
chili whack for you bitchers and complainers.
Yeah. There you go.
You just been chili whacked.
Yeah. Where's your fucking faggot ass pilgrim smashing a guitar like an asshole?
Right.
Where's that at? Huh? I'm going to show off that I'm a fucking idiot on stage by smashing my guitar.
Right. I kick ass, man.
I'm awesome, man.
Exactly. All right. Well, since we're on kind of, fucked up music subjects.
Yeah.
This whole woke thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where people think that they're doing something that is down for the cause.
Okay.
This guy, I don't know this guy from Adam. Never heard of him. But he, I don't know. Maybe you know this guy.
Okay.
His name is Early James.
Oh, Early James. No.
No idea.
Maybe I know him. Is this... What's the song?
Well, I don't know his real music.
Okay.
But apparently this kid, he's 26.
Okay.
And his name is Early James. No idea.
Early James? Okay.
Yeah. Early.
All right. No.
Early James.
Don't know Early James.
I don't either. But apparently because he's a young douchebag.
Okay.
He believes he's doing something meaningful.
Okay.
By since we did this earlier in the show, he's reimagining the words to a classic song.
Okay.
When Early James took the stage as a guest on Marcus King's Last Waltz tribute show, which aired as a paid stream from Nashville this week.
Okay.
Don't know anything about it. And again, I wonder who paid for this.
Okay.
Why would anybody pay to watch this?
Well, Early James was there.
Okay. Again, the importance of these people.
Mm-hmm.
To get, again, we offer the show for free via podcast.
Sure.
Obviously, we put some time and effort and money into doing the whole video thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to watch it, watch it. If you don't, then don't.
Right.
But apparently there was this live video thing from Nashville.
Okay.
So this Early James, whoever this kid is, he was a guest on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't entirely sure of himself. He said, "I was terrified," said the Alabama singer, a songwriter, 26. "I had to have a little bit of liquid courage before I got up there."
Okay.
So he downed some Jack and Coke or some Jim Beam or something before he got on stage.
Sure, some Tanqueray.
Maybe some wild turkey or something.
Tanqueray for Early Ray.
Apparently so. James had volunteered to perform The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down.
Okay.
The troubling requiem.
Wait a minute. The trouble that song has never been a troubling anything until now.
Well, we'll pull up the lyrics.
The night they tore old whiskey down. Right?
No, the night they drove old whiskey down. Old Dixie down.
I don't know the words. Hold on. The night they drove old
Dixie down.
Where's the lyrics? And there were bells were ringing, singing, right? And
yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
It's just not giving me lyrics. Oh, here it is, lyrics. Okay.
All right. The troubling requiem for the Confederate cause from the 1969, The Band.
Mm-hmm.
For more than 50 years, it's been the contradiction at the heart of the band's catalog. A poignant song sung with passion and grit by the late Levon Helm, yet ultimately a vehicle for a wow, you're beaten back, man. For a harmful, racist American myth.
All right.
The words of Robbie Robertson wrote from the perspective of a poor Tennessee farmer in a 1865 have always been hard to square with the band's place in the generally progressive world of the 1960s and the 1970s folk and rock music. This year, as hateful monuments fall.
Hateful monuments are falling.
Yeah, hateful monuments are falling.
Okay.
And Black Lives Matter protesters demand justice.
Yeah, man.
That paradox has finally given out, and James, who released an excellent solo debut, Singing for My Supper, earlier this year, decided to do something about it.
Okay.
So this kid was going to do something about this song that's 50 years old.
What's he going to do?
Now I don't hear you at all.
You don't hear me at all?
Now I hear you.
All right. Yeah, I turned the recording property way down.
Again. All right. I hope we piss off the right people by changing these words, he said.
Okay.
Who are the right people?
Donald J. Trump.
Is that who he's making reference to?
I'm sure it is, and all his supporters.
Yeah. Is it? Well, again, if you're going to mean that, why don't you just come out and say that, brave man?
Because he's a chicken shit.
Well, I hope we piss off the right people.
Yeah.
Who are you making reference to there, pal?
White supremacists that use this song as their national anthem.
Really? I don't think anybody I know goes, man, you know, that night they drove O Dixie down, that was a kick-ass tune.
I'm going to be honest. I'm sure right now we're going to spell out what this song means. I never knew that this song had any bad meaning at all. I just always liked it.
Well, again, I don't know that it even has any bad meaning, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But Early James believes it was horrific.
Well, if Early James says so, then I better pay attention.
Well, he is a millennial, so he knows better.
Sure does.
All right. James went on to deliver a version of the band's song with enough key lyrics altered to transform it from a eulogy for the lost cause to a forceful argument for leaving those lies in the dirt.
Yeah, man.
In the first verse, where Helm sang that the fall of the Confederacy was a time I remember oh so well, James declared it a time to bid farewell.
Wow. What a staggering re-imaging that is. He reimagined this song.
Well, he stood up to it, man.
Yeah, man.
He took lyrics that were more than twice the age of him, and he changed it forever.
He showed them a thing or two.
He did.
If any of the people from the band are still alive, they probably reconsidered their whole career.
Yeah, just like George Lynch.
Sure did. That's probably why George dropped the Lynch mob. He heard these lyrics reworked.
Yeah. Well, he did spend some time in Nashville while his daughter banged out an illegitimate child from Richie Faulkner.
Yeah, that's it. Richie. His daughter was riding Richie Faulkner's dick while he was fucking riding the fucking SJW dick, apparently.
Yeah, of course. Or sucking it.
Yeah.
In the chorus, instead of mourning the downfall, he sang, "Tonight we drive old Dixie down." His most thorough and powerful revision came in the song's final verse.
Well,
because, he sat there in his bedroom penning words to a song, so he was down for the cause.
But I'm sure he held the pencil like this with his hand and scribbled hard.
He's so brave.
I'll show those motherfuckers.
So brave. So bold. So brave.
So daring.
Unlike my father before me, who I will never understand, unlike the others below me who took a rebel stand. So here he is. He's so much more enlightened and elevated. He's over top of anybody who has any other beliefs aside from his own.
That's right.
What a pompous dick. Depraved and powered to enslave. I think it's time we laid hate in its grave.
Oh,
I swear by the mud below my feet, i.e. the people who are below me. They're just mud to me, pal.
Mud people.
Yeah, garbage people.
Just pieces of shit below my golden feet.
Yeah, can you tell the difference between shit and mud? I can't.
No, not at all.
That monument won't stand no matter how much concrete.
Inspiring, Neely. Inspiring.
It is. The hairs on the back of my neck are standing up as we speak.
Me too. Wow.
James had stayed up until 5 a.m. the morning of the show.
Wow.
Rewriting Robertson's lyrics with help from his girlfriend.
Well,
costume designer Cammie Windley.
This guy's a creative genius.
Well, his girlfriend was helping him.
My God, he was able to stay up without his mommy holding his hand and waking him up in the morning.
Well, he was inspired by his chick.
This guy is something.
Yeah. So bold, so brave.
I stayed awake till sunrise.
Yeah, so did Mark Starachi when he said stayed awake all night.
Yeah, this guy is a douche.
The lines that made me cringe. I had to change those, he said.
How about you write your own song, dick fuck? Not capable of that, are you? Can't write your own melody, can you? Instead, you'll take something that was successful and use it as a fucking lame play to get attention for yourself.
Of course.
You're a fucking dick. Fuck you, Early James. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't even know this. I don't even know what these words of this original song mean.
Well, that's why I asked you to pull the lyrics up.
Yeah. I mean, I see them, but
all right. Well, I'm going to have you recite them in a second.
Okay.
I'm from the South. I grew up with racist family members. The song just kind of wrote itself.
Is this a white guy or a black guy?
It's a white guy.
All right.
Growing up in Troy, Alabama, a small city about 2 hours south of Birmingham, where he currently lives, James often heard The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down, Side by Side by Leonard Skinner's Sweet Home Alabama,
Another
and other songs of Southern pride.
Another racist piece of shit band.
You can't be from the South and not hear these songs, he said.
No,
people
man.
take that song as their anthem.
Do they really? Do they really?
When people had songs as their ringtone, I remember that being one of them. He notes one irony. They had no idea Robbie Robertson was a Canadian. If they had, they would have hated that song. People are just ignorant.
What?
Well, Robbie Robertson was Canadian, so if
Since when do we hate Canadians?
Oh, I don't know that answer.
I mean, we do, but since when have we ever openly hated Canadians?
I don't know that anybody ever hated Canadians. I mean, in your lifetime, if somebody moved here from Canada, i.e. Michael J. Fox or somebody
Aldo Nova or whatever.
did you ever say, he's Canadian, I hate his fucking ass?
Never.
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 As far as we're concerned, Canada is part of the U.S.
Yeah.
It might as well be.
It is. It's just another part of Detroit as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly. Nobody looks at Canada as their own country.
Since when have we had this Canada hate? This guy's been growing up like a fucking moron.
There are a bunch of white people up there just north of the border.
Those guys fucking hated this song. Never even knew it was written by.
They were Canadian and he was writing about the South. Fuck that guy.
They would have hated him worse if they knew he was from Canada.
Well, they probably hate him now because Trudeau is a faggot.
Yeah, well, there's that.
So why don't you read us some of the lyrics from The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down?
All right, here's the lyrics.
All right, here it is.
Verse 1.
Wait a minute. I want to put a disclaimer out there.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who are offended by hate lyrics,
yeah,
turn the show off now.
Go to bed.
There's definitely hate lyrics in this.
Yeah. Here comes the hate.
All right, here we go.
Virgil Caine is the name, and I served on a Danville train till Stoneman's cavalry came and tore up the tracks again. I'm assuming that's how they pronounce it.
Yeah, well, of course, they got to make it rhyme.
Right. In the winter of 65, we were hungry, just barely alive.
Okay.
By May the 10th, Richmond had fell. It's a time I remember, oh so well.
All right, so this guy's thinking about the Confederate, the Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Then the chorus, the night they drove old Dixie down, and all the bells were ringing. The night they drove old Dixie down, and the people were singing. They went la 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 la, la.
Okay.
And et cetera, et cetera. So then verse 2. Back with my wife in Tennessee, when one day she called to me.
Mm-hmm.
Virgil, quick, come see. There goes Robert E. Lee.
All right, so he was the general of the Confederate Army. Okay.
Now, I don't mind chopping wood, and I don't care if the money's no good. You take what you need and you leave the rest, but they should never have taken the very best.
Okay.
Then the chorus again.
Yeah.
And then the third verse is, like my father before me, I will work the land. And like my brother above me, who took a rebel stand.
Okay.
He was just 18, proud and brave. Just a Yankee laid him in his grave.
Okay.
I swear by the mud below my feet, you can't raise a cane back up when he's in defeat. And then the chorus out.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow. Where was the hate and the... Where was the hate?
Sounds to me like this dude was just, celebrating his brother that died fighting for the Confederacy.
Yeah, he was just the dude that they had a belief. Okay. So they just said, all right, well, we're going to fight for our rights. And so did, what was the band Fight for Your Right to Party?
Beasties.
Yeah, the Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
Were their lyrics hateful? Fight for your right to party.
They should have said, fight for your right for BLM.
Right, of course.
That's what it should have been.
Right. I didn't hear a goddamn hateful thing in that song at all.
Neely, that's because you're biased toward the hate.
No, I have white privilege.
You do.
Don't forget that.
And you're biased to be hateful. You're groomed to be hateful.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So this Robbie Robertson was writing a song from the perspective from a Confederate soldier.
Mm-hmm. He was.
All right. And then what? Then he went home and he worked his land.
Yeah.
He started planting his cotton, his corn, and his soybeans and his wheat.
He did. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then what? Nothing.
Nothing at all.
All right. So it's funny. So this Jagoff, he says, people take that song as their anthem.
When has anybody ever taken that song as an anthem?
That's not even an anthem. That just kind of tells a story. It's not an anthem.
Sweet Home Alabama or Freebird, probably more Freebird. That's sort of an anthem.
Sort of.
You know, you mentioned it before. Fight for your right to party. That's an anthem.
That is an anthem. Fight for your right to party.
Yeah. This guy doesn't know what an anthem is because he's from this generation that doesn't have any anthems. But, an anthem is one that you put your hands on. You're like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
This is not an anthem. The band, nobody ever said, you know what band has a lot of good anthemic music? The band.
You never hear that played in stadiums during sports events.
No. If the band is still a band and tours, they probably play in front of 300 people at a fucking barbecue rib cook-off.
Right.
That's not an anthemic band and not an anthemic song.
Not at all. I've never heard that played in a stadium. Have you?
No. I mean, maybe American Pie is more anthemic. Don McLean, American Pie.
But you don't even hear that played in a stadium.
No, instead you get Enter Sandman.
Yeah.
And Crazy Train.
Yeah. Or Hell's Bells.
Yeah. Those are
or Back in Black.
Yeah, those are your anthems,
Yeah.
dumbbell. He may have stayed up till 5, but that wasn't early enough for early James.
Right.
Fucking moron.
As a young child, he attended a private elementary school. Privileged fuck. You privileged white kid.
Mm-hmm.
In part, he says, because my dad didn't want me to go to school with black people.
Mm-hmm.
No, you went to private school because your dad could afford to pay you to pay to let you go there.
The old man was trying to get you educated. Apparently, he failed.
He was trying to get you a good education outside of the constructs of what is the mandated federal or state school.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he fed you to the fucking liberal teaching mode that fucking taught you to be a pussy.
Yeah. So you should have thanked your dad, said, you know what? I didn't have to attend this, homogenized bullshit that the state and federal level teaches us.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to a good school because I can afford it.
He didn't like that, Neely. Didn't like that at all.
This kid's a fucking faggot. After his parents split up, oh yeah, good parenting. He ended up transferring to a more integrated public school.
Oh.
He remembers one history teacher around 9th grade who was particularly fond of the Confederate nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
He would say Robert E. Lee was a military genius. Well, because he fought for the Confederacy, does that mean he wasn't
moron
a good general?
Moron.
Okay.
The wrong team.
He said that he would say that Robert E. Lee was a military genius, say they didn't own slaves, even though he did! Exclamation point. he'd say it was all about the states' rights. Well, there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
People just deny that, but it really was about states' rights.
Yeah.
Just glorifying the South and making all the excuses in the world. It wasn't an excuse. It was a legitimate cause. It was legitimate.
Well, this is the piece that's always lost in the mix. All these fucking knotheads, these SJW dickwads, they come from the perspective of today. And looking through the prism of today, of course it looks fucked up. But that isn't the prism that we were in. People were treated differently. Values were different. How people were treated was different. And I'm not even justifying it. I'm just saying.
It's just the perception of what it was at that time.
Nobody in that time, because of the way the world was at that time, not just the United States, but the world, because of the way the world was at that time, there was not this superior, huge outcry of, you can't own human beings. There wasn't that outcry, at least at the beginning of when the slaves came over. There wasn't that outcry.
No, not at all.
The outcry was the same as owning a fucking mule. You know, we've all seen those videos. We all watched Roots where they're checking their teeth and shit to make sure that they're fucking healthy. They were fucking livestock.
Well, of course, that goes back to the old adage: don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that meant don't check its teeth to see if it's good if you're being given this for nothing.
Right. But that's the whole deal, is that these fucking knotheads like Early James are fucking judging through today's prism. And today's prism isn't where these decisions were made. You know, in today's prism, there would not be a civil war. There would not be people looking to end all black people or put black people in chains and have them fucking, you know, plowing fields and picking cotton and shit like that. It's just not the prism we live in anymore. But back in those days, that was what we had.
That was the norm.
That was accepted, not just in the United States, but around the globe. In other places, they had slavery. They had Jewish slaves. They had white slaves. They had Egyptian slaves. You know, this fucking perception that the United States and black people are the only people that have ever been enslaved is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
There
are still people who are still enslaved even to this day.
Exactly. Learn some fucking history. Look at Epstein's fucking island, you dicks.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people fucking enslaved there.
Right.
Idiots.
James, a self-described nerd who had sought out his own reading material on the subject, recalls drawing the same teacher's ire by praising the Union cause. He thought it was terrible that I thought Sherman was cool for burning down Atlanta. He was a history teacher, but he didn't want to know the facts. He forced that blissful ignorance on us. Well, did you know that when Lincoln freed the slaves, even though he did a good thing by doing that he basically wanted to send them all back to Africa? Were you aware of that?
Apparently not.
Apparently not. At other times, the prejudice he grew up around took more subtle forms. Racism got brushed under the rug growing up, he said. Now it's finally a time when at least my friends in certain parts of the South are actually saying, no, dude, I don't want to be around you, or telling people to shut up if they're racist. When I was a kid, if someone would make a joke using the N-word, people would laugh just not to have to be have uncomfortable silence. That doesn't fly anymore, which is nice. Even in recent years, though, he's been dismayed to spot Confederate flags at music festivals he's played.
Great.
In later decades, Robertson had distanced himself from somewhat of the Confederate imagery in one of his most famous songs. He told an interviewer at Sirius XM last fall that he got the idea from a visit to the Helms parents in Arkansas. I was trying to write a song that I thought Levon could sing better than anybody in the world. That's all it was. That's what I meant it to be. For his part, James didn't see his revision of The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down as particularly a brave act compared to what protesters and the support of Black Lives Matter have risked this year. I'm not as courageous as those people, he said.
Shut up.
It was an easy stand for me to take. I felt like the tiniest thing it was I could do.
So courageous, burning down fucking stores and stealing shoes.
Yeah.
So brave, so bold. Shut up. This guy's a dick. He's a dick like his whole goddamn generation.
Of course they are.
Whole generation of dicks. Hate this fucking guy.
I know. But again, he gets probably most of his information from Facebook and Twitter and God knows what.
Yeah, Instagram knowledge.
Right.
Great. All right.
All right. One more short story and we'll get out of here.
All right.
This one will just drive you right over the edge. Michael Obama says the hypocrisy of Donald Trump's government and racial tensions in the U.S. have contributed to her suffering low-grade depression.
Well, that's something.
Speaking on her new podcast, the former First Lady opened up about lacking motivation and feeling low during the coronavirus lockdown. Yeah, like she's abiding by a lockdown, right?
First of all, she's not. Second of all, what human being doesn't feel like shit being in this lockdown?
Well, it's Donald Trump's fault.
Yeah, it's not. How did Donald Trump influence the rest of the fucking planet, you bitch? And I use bitch loosely because I should call you a cock.
She said she had been feeling out of body, out of mind, and her sleep has been off.
Poor baby, with her fucking 9,000 fucking thread count sheets in her $10 million home. Fuck you. Your life is so bad. It can't even get a new movie in the private theater, Neeley. It's really fucking tough these days.
Right.
I'm used to watching whatever's on Disney Plus now with the kids.
Sure. And Eric Braverman.
Yeah, and Eric Braverman. Just a bunch of guys hanging out, watching TV.
I know that I'm dealing with some kind of form of low-grade depression, said Mrs. Obama. Not just because of the quarantine, but because of this racial strife and just seeing this administration, the hypocrisy of it all day in and day out. It's dispiriting.
You know what? Turn your fucking TV off. Take your boat out on Martha's Vineyard, because I think that's where this fucking twat lives.
Well, that's one of their mansions.
Yeah, well, go out in your Martha's Vineyard yacht and go and fucking sail around and enjoy your life, you fucking bitch. Turn off the fucking CNN that you're clearly watching, and then you won't have to deal with any of the racial strife. You're a fucking multi-millionaire that's entitled and fucking protected more than anybody else on this planet. So your little depression means shit. You don't have any reason to be depressed. You're rich, you're overprotected, and you've got every advantage over every other fucking human being on the planet. So fuck you. And if that still leaves you depressed, then I hope you don't have a bottle of pills laying around, bitch. Fuck you.
No, I hope you have a bottle of pills laying around. I hope you take all of them at once.
We cannot wish that because we don't want that on the door. So we hope she doesn't take the bottle of pills.
Right.
But Jesus Christ, I don't want to hear about some fucking spoiled rich twat telling me how depressed she is. Fuck you. You know who else is depressed? Oprah. Oprah is fucking really depressed with her billions of dollars and her 10 homes. You know, she doesn't have anybody coming to her audience to give cars to now. And it's very depressing. Shut up, Mike. Fuck off.
Speaking on the podcast, journalist Michelle Norris, she said she tried to improve her mood by exercising, but that often she felt too low to do it. Spiritually, these are not fulfilling times, said Michael Obama.
Yeah, her cock kept getting in the way when she was doing squats.
Right. The 56-year-old also gave a glimpse into how the Obamas have been dealing with the being cooped up together. Yeah, like they're cooped up together.
Yeah, they're cooped up
tackling the 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle together and setting up a vicious card tournament.
Yeah. She's probably just bored because fucking Epstein Island is closed now.
Yeah.
Can't get out there to fucking have some teenage fun.
Right. Mrs. Obama said usually they go off on their own spaces during the day. Barack is in his office making calls, working on his book. I'm in my room. The girls are on their computers. But right after 5 o'clock, everybody comes out of their nooks, and we like to do activities like puzzles and have become like puzzles have become big, just sitting and doing these thousands of tiny pieces.
What a miserable life.
The girls are just like into them, and we're all sitting on the floor around the table where the puzzle is now permanently set up. After dinner, she said they get out the playing cards. The girls and Barack and other friends come here. Are they wearing masks, Michael?
I would hope so.
They've got a spades tournament, so Barack has taught the girls spades.
Hey, we don't need that kind of language, Neeley.
Well, we call the spade
black family. It's a black family.
Well, we call a spade a spade.
Can't we just, even if it's not the right game, say hearts?
Yeah.
For God's sakes, Neeley, you're being very insensitive here. You're worse than an early Ray fucking song.
I think so.
Jeez.
So there's this vicious competition, said Michael Obama. They would have sat down, but for this quarantine to learn how to play a card game with their dad, they wouldn't. The Michelle Obama podcast began on Spotify last week with the first episode featuring her husband and former president, Barack Milhouse. Amito, or whatever his name is, Obama.
Hussein?
Yeah. Barack Milhouse, Benita Hussein Obama.
There it is. All right.
She's so depressed.
Yeah, it's such a tough life. Fuck off.
It is. It's tough. It's tough.
Just go fuck yourself.
It's
Mike.
very strange how a former president and his wife, after leaving the White House under 4 years, have become multimillionaires.
Yeah. How about that?
How did that happen? Does anybody ever question that?
Well, you know, they had that extensive business knowledge ahead of time.
Yeah, really. They came into the White House two broke dicks, and they left the White House, and 4 years later they're multimillionaires.
You learn a lot as a disgraced lawyer and a fucking civil organizer.
Really?
You learn how to make a lot of money doing those jobs.
How did that happen?
You learn a lot, Neeley.
How come nobody ever questions that? How come the media never questions that? How come nobody's asking for their tax returns or wondering where all that money came from?
Private citizens. Citizens.
Okay.
Need to share that.
All right. All right. Well, that's going to do another show.
Here we go. We're out.
All right. Went quick. It was fast. It was fun.
Sure was.
All right. Well, we're going to be live. We're going to do a show on, what is it? August
29th. Yep.
And this is where is this happening? Give everybody the info.
It is the Smokin' Rock and Roll Summer Blowout and Pig Roast. It is Saturday, August the 29th from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. We will be streaming live from the event. And for those of you that are not at the event, we will replay the audio of it during the normal CMS time. It is located at 605 Clague Road out there in Bay Village, Ohio. I don't know the zip code, but for more information, smokeandrockandroll.com.
All right. Well, if you're in the Ohio area, or if you want to make the trip and you want some excellent barbecue that our good friend Billy Morris and Greg Chastain.
Not Greg, Todd. Greg's from Badlands.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Todd from Tough.
Yeah, Todd from Tough. Yep.
If you want to check out some of their food, it's really top notch.
Yeah, the food alone is not worth it to come see us. I'll tell you that straight up.
Well, there's really nothing to see. Chris and I will be sitting at a table talking and a couple of mics. I mean, there's really nothing to see.
But the food fucking rules.
Yeah. So if you want some chicken and ribs and some really good shit, come on out to that thing if you're in the area or you want to make the trip. And we'll be out there and we'll be broadcasting live, and there will be some live entertainment, all kinds of good shit.
Yep. Stuff to do, live entertainment, bands. It's fun. It'll be fun.
All right. About 3 weeks from now.
Yep.
All right. So we're going to do a live show. We're going to stream live. We're going to be out there. We're going to be hoisting some adult beverages, eating some barbecue, broadcasting live, all that good stuff. So if you want to come out, come on out.
Yeah.
If you don't, fuck you.
Yeah. Stay home then, fuckface.
Yeah. Hang out with Michelle Obama and her boyfriend, Barack.
Yeah.
Listen to their podcast.
Just two guys hanging out.
Yeah. Some dudes swinging their dicks.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to let you pick a song and get us out of here for tonight.
All right. Night Ranger, goodbye.
Well, that's pretty simple and sweet.
How's that?
All right. Fucking goodbye, pals.
Goodbye, fuckies.
All right. Let me pull up some Night Ranger and
get
us out of here. Where are we at here? Night Ranger. Here we go. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. We'll be back next Saturday. We'll do this thing all over again. So until next Saturday night, this is Neeley along with my very good friend
Chris Aiken.
And we're out of here.
Bye, kids.